Hello, good evening from here. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers. So, today we are going to be talking about Nigeria again, looking at some of the happenings, some of the latest issues that are happening surrounding politics and the social life of Nigerians generally, as the case may be. So, please do join us. I would implore you to please, first of all, share. I remember that. DSA used to tell us in those days, share. So please do share the link to invite people who might be interested in what we are discussing. And you can be a part of it in your in the comment section. So please do join us. And even me, I'm going to take a few seconds now to quickly go share. That way, we will be inviting other people to join the conversation. Thank you for doing so. And then after that, I'll be talking to the guest. Inviting other people to join the conversation. That will be all for now in terms of sharing. So let's have our guests introduce themselves. Let's start with Baba Village Boy. Ekabo Soreto. Please introduce yourself.
You muted me, Dad. Yeah, I'm the village boy. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, I muted you because I think you were playing the video from behind there. Tosin.
Hi friends, good evening. I'm Oluwatosin, citizen Oluwatosin. Welcome to the show again this week.
Okay, you're welcome to the show again this week. And like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about some of the things that are happening in Nigeria and around Africa, as the case may be, and whatever other topic that my guests might want to talk about. So, because it's an informal session, so there's not going to be so much of regulations on the discussions or the topic that's to be discussed. But first of all, something that I saw was it yesterday or earlier today was that the spokesperson of President Buhari was comparing President Buhari, with Zik and Pa Awolowo. So these people have gone. They are no more for many years, and then they are still very relevant in when you talk about politics in Nigeria, especially in the southwest. Talking about Awolowo, but then comparing him or somebody of his caliber with Buhari, I'd let Village Boy talk about him, or what do you think about it?
Yeah, I also read it about it, but that is sacrilege. It is the highest respect you can give, to this sage. For those well-focused individuals that took their respective area of influence to a high, to heights that were never attained before. How on earth can you compare him with our own indefatigable Awo? It is abomination. And it's just that I like to be very, very decent in my approach. There is a kind of name I would have called him, the Adeshina be a Yoruba man, but I will refrain myself from calling that. But that is a sacrilege of unacceptable dimension. There's no basis for comparison. Okay, he said it's popular. Popularity over what? Is Nigeria better in his hand than what those guys did? So even his cardinal point is something that they call corruption, that he said was going to fight tooth and nail. There's more corruption today. Yeah, we are not going to say he has not done anything at all. That would be unfair to him. But if we are going to put him on a scale, is not worthy to even to lose his, the to lose the shoe of these guys that he mentioned that these people are popular too. Yeah, but I remember I wrote an article on Facebook that Oba came Pakoni, and there's a lot of legendary something like behind that. So you see it on my wall. The king doesn't murder the drummers because the drummer is what they say as say with his drum that people will accept. But this one to go on the national TV and say this thing is bereft of ideas. It lacks something good to say. It's sacrilegious. Yeah, I saw this one too. I saw that too. It's beyond. It's sacrilege. It's not mischievous. It's worse than mischievous.
Okay, Tosin, what would you think is the achievement of Baba Buhari in recent time? Or maybe just an overview. And I don't want you to, you don't have to be too critical. Just look at the specifics. Maybe on that basis, at least many of us, we only hear, people of my generation, we only hear some of these good things about Awolowo. My only, what I like about it is the fact that he still remains relevant. You know, many Yoruba people would say that they've not really seen any Nigerian leader, whether in the South or in Nigeria as a nation, that has, done better or beyond the record of Awolowo. So, but those of us who have seen Buhari recently, what do you think? What do you make of Buhari's activities recently, Tosin?
Mm, Buhari's activity or achievements recently, I don't know. I it is difficult to, well, he's trying in some areas. If you talk about infrastructure, he may train. I think we can only point to train. But the country, I don't know what Buhari's achievement is. I don't, apart from the train he made, I cannot point to any other thing. I cannot point to any other thing. I can only point to so many things that were right before he became president, and now those things are wrong. Those things are not. Our lives are not as good as they used to be. Um, Buhari does not have any achievement, and in the essence, he's in his second term now, and about 2 years now, his regime will be over, and he might not have the opportunity to become president again in Nigeria until unless maybe he can bribe the Senate to give him third term like the other guy also did. So by now, Buhari should be looking on what will be his legacy after leaving office. But as we have it today, well, I don't think till now, he doesn't have anything to be called his legacy, except that he made train that the previous administration has begun that and he finalized that. Yeah, he made train, but for a government that has spent 8 years, and we cannot point to anything good about him. We can only point to many things that is going bad in the country. So I don't think he has any good legacy. And to what additional says, additional, we will not expect additional to say anything other than that. he has to praise his paymasters. Uh, I have interest in how what will become of additional after this regime. I'm really looking forward to what will become of him after this regime. If he will go back to his normal life or he will just remain to be Buhari's spokesperson for life. In recent time, we have seen sycophants singing the praise of their paymaster and all that. Additional is not less of them, just that comparing those that people see as saint. As Christians, we see some of our forefathers in the faith as saint. That is how some politicians see Zeke and Awolowo as saint. So comparing Buhari, that it is very funny. It is very funny. It is when I saw that I just felt, what is this guy? Whatever he's drinking or whatever he's smoking, I want a portion of that. I want to feel fly also. I want a portion of whatever additional is smoking or drinking. I want to I want to taste it also. I want to feel how he's feeling.
Okay. Now I want to ask a little bit, maybe, I don't know, maybe this will be philosophical. I'm going to ask the village boy. When you look at politicians in the last 2 decades, sir, who would you rate very highly? Nigerian politicians that we can look at. Okay, maybe this person could be a little bit of a model of a politician, in your opinion.
From 1999 to date.
Yes.
Ah, you're asking me, you are sending me on a mission to go to the maternity ward rather, and bring you two virgins in the maternity ward. How am I going to find that? Hmm? How do you want me to find a virgin in the maternity ward?
Well, I
Mary
don't
may
just
be
want
there,
to.
sir.
You know what?
I don't just want it to be, I don't want to assume that, okay, since 1999, that we have not really even gotten any politician that we can say, oh, this one, or an office holder, whether in the past or in the present, who have demonstrated sincerity, who have demonstrated capacity, who have demonstrated, compassion, and the will to do, and can actually, we can show something for it.
If you want to be very modest, if we are looking at, if you look at the then Tinubu, not the current Tinubu, before it became Jagaba, the Tinubu of 1999 to 2007, because I live in Lagos and I saw the kind of governance that was in place, and don't forget that time the federal government withheld Lagos's allocation. So to be able to scale through that period, reforming the tax and all that, what he did then, the kind of work he did, and of course the successor after him, Fashola, the emergence of Fashola and everything. That was a period that we were hoping that, okay, our shouts against military government was not in vain. But what we saw then has again, unfortunately, has turned upside down. So the kind of what he showed then, of course, in 2003, almost all AD governor were defeated, were kind of cunningly swept under the carpet. It became the last man standing. So that what was shown then was something that was worth looking at. But again, We know it is not the same thing today. So in terms of what was done then, if you can probably remove the person and just focus on what was achieved during that era, we say, okay, we saw, we could say we saw some, you know, dividend of democracy being done. Again, I happened to travel around a number of states during the time of Peter Obi, and apart from seeing the road network, the infrastructure of road network that were done, I had a lot of conversation with some those drivers that were taking me then. I had conversation with them, and yes, I think he also did some good job. Though he said was he had only one wristwatches. We have seen more than one with him. Then this is this Pandora case, which is yes, we don't have a record that he stole government money. We had a record that he caught up, he cut down government excesses from traveling, but having a company in tax haven, that is literally tax evasion, which is criminal, in nature. But we don't have any record anywhere. I'm not aware of that Peter Obi stole government money. So, and he worked, and he has been a good salesman of himself, of his work, of his achievement. I think that Peter Obi gave a good, kind of, model that people can, that's fairly altruistic in an environment where people use government uh, job to acquire wealth. He was already wealthy before he became, this thing. So maybe we can tolerate the little spot, that Pandora spot on his, on what's supposed to be his white and clean garment. Yeah. So, and Peter Obi is not known to have lived a very extravagant lifestyle in and out of office. So I think even if it is not two hands to clap for him, I can use 1.5 hands to clap for him, if that is possible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Tosin, I want to ask you this question now. And I'm going to ask Village Boy, or maybe I would expect the Village Boy if he wants to attempt it as well. And question is, what was it about Buhari that made him seem to be very popular prior to 2014, between 2014 and that period of election? And, that hope was so high, and just immediately or nearly immediately election, it began to drop. What happened? In your opinion, though, I'm not expecting you to.
To be right. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Now, what happened is before the general election 2014, there has been security problem in the northeast, and especially when the Chibok girls were being kidnapped. So many people see the government of Jonathan as weak and that he cannot tackle them. And during that time, insecurity, Boko Haram were on the rampage in the northeast, taking territories from Nigerian and all that, kidnapping the Chibok girls. I think the Chibok girls itself and the campaign of the bring back our girls that the event witnessed after the kidnap of those girls is one of the things that make Jonathan to lose popularity. Then people began to see Buhari as a former military head of state, excuse me, as a general, as an ex-general that can tackle the problem we have at hand that time. The problem we have at hand that time was insecurity one, and then the government of Jonathan was seen as being very corrupt. So people also that were around when Buhari was the then head of state, they have called him all sort of name in that 2014 Megreskia, which means that somebody that is bold to take, somebody that take bold steps. Megreskia, somebody that is truthful, that is honest. They call him a man of integrity. They had just played some political card on us that time. And they played a very nice one because it got them the much popularity they know. But as you will know that if the lies we go for 100 years, truth will only catch it up with a minute. So all the lies they have told about Buhari as a man of integrity, as a man of as Megreskia, somebody that can stop corruption, somebody that can protect the country. During one of the campaign, in the campaign video, we saw Tinubu saying when countries have problem, they call on their general, and that now we have problem, we should call on our general, and all that. So people put a high hope in Buhari that the insecurity problem we have in Nigeria, then he can tackle it. That's Boko Haram, he can tackle it, and that's the corrupt government of Jonathan. People want to see the end of it. But instead, what we have today is what we have. So Buhari could not deliver because all what was said about him prior to the general election 2015 were lies. I immediately won the election. Immediately won the election also, people were kind of scared that, oh, the guy they said is Megreskia, is man of integrity, I just won the election. Everybody sit right. But he start to fumble the minute he was sworn into office, and he couldn't even give the name of his minister, of his cabinet. He start to fumble there. Then when he eventually come up with a name, it was same old guys, people that the masses, the citizens that voted for him, people we think he will come up with, people we think he will work with, as the Miss Greskia they have called him. People we think we will work with. They are not the people that he now put in his cabinet. So from that time, everybody knows that, man, this guy is just one of the corrupt politicians around. And this, he has proven us to be right from that 2015 till date. Even in his, because 2019, some people voted for him again because they think, oh, first regime, he just need the second time. This second time is going to work. This second time, he will not pick the corrupt cabinet again. But what happened? He picked the same old people again.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. Village boy, you want to try to attempt this?
Why did he not live up to expectation? They are
Yeah,
they
why
are
was it that there was so much hope in him? Why? What were there really antecedents? Because really, when you look at, because I was thinking about this about a year ago or 2 years ago, that most of the things that we heard about Buhari during that election, that first election, it was what people said on his behalf, the messages that people shared on the internet on his behalf. Just like Adesina is the one saying this on his behalf. What do you think?
yeah. The truth is that the guy overthrew the government of Shagari on December 31st, 1983, and by May 1985, what is now referred as Palace School, the IBB, just so shove him aside, and He was outside the country and he came back. I think, yeah, he came back. He was put to jail for some time, and there was no financial misdemeanor that was filed against him during those period. I think because he did not stay for too long, and of course that regime came with a lot of issues like war against the discipline, um, and other things. So they felt that okay, maybe if he had stayed too long, if he has been allowed to stay a bit, we would have seen most of those he was doing there with Diagbo, late General Diagbo, would have seen all those things being being you know could have been more fruitful, that Nigeria would have been a bit better for it. And of course we know the what the regime of IBB meant to Nigeria. It's kind of literally commercialize monetize every situation. And today we from that regime we started losing our moral value, our moral compass as a nation. Because of that, I think it's because of that sympathy. They will say, okay, this guy is you know what he was not able to finish in 1985. Let's say let him come to go and finish it. And when it first started, actually, we discovered that from the report of those we received from home, that especially the civil service were, people started behaving fairly well, coming to work early. A lot of loitering and other things were kind of reducing, gradually. But after about less than a year, and they discovered that there's no action, life returned to normal, and it got worse. If you read my book, and there's a chapter that talk about the parable of the bread and the beans. I don't know whether you have read that. I tried to, you know. So before, PDP, they were spreading corruption. Everybody was involved, and that united them. But this one now, rather than spreading, few people are scooping the thing. So only those people. So they are no longer spread; they are scooping. So I think it derailed somewhere along the line, and of course, age is no longer on his side. So he was not as agile as he was in 1984. And again, because of which he himself had admitted a couple of times that most of these people working with him, he he had no knowledge of them. So he didn't have that kind of free hands to choose. So I think the party apparatus, which is APC is a bed of strange fellows. It's like different leg combined together. So that also complicated the matter for him. Then very quick, shortly after he assumed power, he fell ill, and was away for substantial part of the first term outside the country. And when the people realized that there was vacuum of governance, because of that, it becomes all commerce affair. I think that was it. And on himself also, because I think you can say it's a bit narrow-minded. A good leader must not be too narrow-minded. Sorry to be too personal there. Is what he believes that he believes in. He's not I don't see him as somebody who can be persuaded by superior argument. If he doesn't believe in it, he doesn't believe in it. And he doesn't give a damn. So he's not somebody that yields to superior argument. I don't know whether I even listen to one. I'm not close to him. So I don't know. But from the public, he's not somebody that easily persuaded by superior argument. He take a position on everything, on every issue, and either it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. He stick to that position. And in a pluralistic society like Nigeria, I don't know how much that will work. So That's why they were able to convince me that, you know what these NSA Lagos boys are doing in Lagos. They wanted to overthrow your government, and he believed them, and he just took that one to the bank. That which boy the boys that were dancing Fuji in Lekki in Lekki toll gate. Now that were those were going to overthrow government, but he believed it because they, you know. So I think that is the thing. I think his belief system, his mindset is not 21st century compliant. I think his mindset is still way back 17th century. I'm not saying this to as a derogatory remark, but from his body language and in his pronouncement, especially when he speaks straight, when those few interviews he had directly with people, you will see the kind of mindset he has. I mean, how can you be talking of grazing roots in 21st century? So when you look at all those issues, I think uh that's the wahala we have. That's the challenge we have now with him. I mean, so he's the kind of flexibility that is, the kind of pragmatism that is required at a time like this. I don't think he possesses it, and I also perhaps his truthfulness, his Gaskianism, if I can use that word. I think it's over exaggerated because to yeah, it's good to be to have probity and accountability. But at the level the office is occupied, it also requires some measure of competence. So if you are truthful and you are not competent, you are not going to produce results. So his competencies, I don't want to talk about that. But we know my guy is as good as yours.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now I want us to look at this. And SARS. It's going to be a year in October 20. And so I think a lot of people are preparing already to go to the street and perhaps maybe mark it somehow as a remembrance day, you know. But there's also possibility that Baba still believes what he believes.
Yeah,
His
so
children, they want to they want to send me out of Azorok.
I will. That
I'm
place
sorry,
must
I'm
be
laughing,
sweet.
but I mean, I believe it is. Somebody sent me a screenshot yesterday about the money that they are spending on food alone in Asarok. And it's,
Yeah.
hundreds of millions per year. But then, you know,
Oh, Bill.
Baba have to eat. Anyway, Dustin, what do you think about this one that Falana has to be sending warning to the police to allow people?
Yeah, even with this, that he had just done this so that to be formal, that he informed them. But I don't see the approach of Nigerian police to be different on this coming 20th of October. I don't see the approach to be different. I see them coming out with tear gas, with water tank and all that, and harassing citizens. But it is good to inform them in a sane word. The police should be there to provide protection for protesters. But it's unfortunate the kind of police we have. They, even though these people are fighting for them, uh, even though the protesters are fighting for them, they don't understand this. They are just like they are immune to suffering, and there is a whole lot reason to go out to protest again on the 20th. Apart from the main reason is to in remembrance of those that were killed. According to the switch that was there on that day, she said 15 people lost their lives. So these people want to be to be reminded, we because If they had died, they die in a just cause. Die singing their national anthem. Some of them have even the flag with them. And according to the Jesuit account, it is not only the Nigerian army that came there to kill people that day. After they left, the Nigerian police also come. So there should be protests on that day for the remembrance of those that were killed. And another thing is the 5 point agenda, the 5 point demand of the protesters, that the Buhari administration say, leave the streets, go back home. These your 5 demands, we will do it. Till today, till now, none of those 5 demands has been done. It is 1 year after the protests, after the killings, after the demands, after the promise that they are going to do. What has they done?
So you want me to respond to
Tosin,
that
thank
too?
you. Yes,
Okay.
I was going to, in fact, ask you. Baba said their needs, their demands has been met. If not that they want to take him out of office, what were they still doing? What do you think?
Yeah,
Tosin,
let's
don't
give
laugh
us
now.
give us a catalog of what has been done, what has been met. So it's simple. Accountability is like, okay, I say I will do this, I did this, and this is when I did it, and we can all trace it, right? So if you cannot, then what are we not talking about? So here is the thing: the Farana is very wise to have demanded for police protection. One that will give it a kind of legal backing. So there will not be a case of we are not aware. You know, there is a lot of we are not aware in this regime too. Nobody is aware of everything, anything. We are not aware. Baba is not aware. So Baba will not say, ah, these boys again. I think in democracy, protesting is a legitimate way of expressing views about what is not right or what is considered not right. So, but again, we also know that you know, if you don't do it the proper way, innocent people will suffer. So I think I commend Falana for taking that initiative, at least to ensure that people are not just killed again unnecessarily as it used to be in the past. But the question is that what if they deny him? If they have the choice not to grant approval. If the police say, okay, because the situation is not conducive, that they cannot guarantee the safety of the protesters, would they still go ahead and do it? Or maybe Parana is just deliberately appealing to the moral conscience, you know, of the police. That okay, you cannot say that you are not aware. We wrote letter to you. And though ordinarily in democracy you are not supposed to deny them, what you should do is to provide um, security for them, for the public, to make sure that nothing goes unruly. So you, in which case, the venue they are protesting, the police should be there as observer, not to come and fight. They surround the place, they secure the people, and they do. They are expected to be trained in crowd management. So they should also bring the knowledge of their crowd management to ensure that everything goes smoothly. But then we are talking of Nigeria, anything can happen. And what Falana has done his own job, and is he deserves accolade. If I want to speak your language, Falana deserves accolade for taking that step.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna share this one again. Uncle was in the palace. Uncle was in the palace to discuss with Baba, even though we don't know the details of the discussion. But I saw an interview where he said he was saying that there should be not there shouldn't be too much emphasis on regional presidency. You know that we should look at restructuring Nigeria first of all. You know that he has submitted so many presentations to Baba on how to go about it. But then I guess that's the much he said. So I wanted to take your opinion on this. Maybe Tosin, you want to go first? I didn't expect him after he's lashing out the other time. I did not expect that Pastor Bakari will be willing to visit Baba again, even if he's invited. But then,
He will not meet with him again. Showore had called him Shakabula. I don't. Nigerian pastors need to respect themselves. They can have personal opinion. They are Nigerians too. They can have personal opinion. It's fine. But when you come on the altar to say your personal opinion, let it be known that this is my personal opinion, and stop presenting like what God said or what God revealed to him. Or Pastor Tunde is very funny. It's very funny. I don't. Uh, people people don't believe he will. When I saw the news, I stare at the news again. Is that true? Because after swearing he will not go there again, after his several outbursts, you most Nigerians are not just sincere people. They are just, the village boy will say, when you are eating, you don't talk. There is just the manner of many people that we think they are public figure and should be respected. That is why some people don't have remorse to abuse them, to talk anyhow to them, because respect can only you can only give respect to whom it is due, not because they have age, not because they are elder, or because they are old, or they have it. No, but because they deserve it, because it is due to them. So somebody like Pastor Tunde, what he did yesterday is up to him, but a lot of us have seen now that he's not a man of his words. He has said he will not go there again. He had written many. In the first place, before, if you watch his outburst video in the church, you will see he's reading from a write up. From a write up, he's reading from a write up. So because that's what I was thinking yesterday, if you will sit down to write down something, not just as we are talking now, just something that drop in our mind and we are saying it, something that you sit down to write it down. Then after some months, you are going against what you have said in recent time, and you are a pastor and you want people to respect you. You are an elderly man. How will people respect you? What he did is just owing to himself, because is one of the things he said, that there should not be zoning in the coming. It's not up to him to say there should not be zoning. It's up to political parties. Which party is he? He should tell us. Some time ago, he said he posted on social media or in his outburst that he will start a political party now. He will do this. We have had enough of his talking. We want to see him do something. This year, this regime we are now, these days we are now, it's not the time to talk. He's one of the people that protested in 2012 against Jonathan, and he said he will lead. The last time he said he will lead protests against this government. Is that the protest? People that don't have, I don't know. I'm just a small guy here, but I think I want to value my word and don't want to go contrary to it. And if people will be as great as Tony Bakari and they are behaving so unruly, if he knows he will still go and have meeting with Buhari, why is all this hard boss and all this drama? Why? He doesn't need he doesn't need all those noise and all those drama. He's trying to bring attention to himself also. Is he behaving like the circular artist now that we like Tiwa Savage saying he have a sex tape with his boyfriend? Meanwhile, there's no sex tape. She's just trying to bring attention to herself. So is Tunde Bakari also like that now? Just wake up one morning, go to his church and start talking. Kudos to his members. They can sit down. I cannot sit down in church and you be my pastor and you are just blabbing. There was a time I stand up and leave one church when one pastor is saying what I don't like. I say, no, this is not what I know. I just stand up and just leave the church. I never go back there. So kudos to his members that will sit down and he can bring up 100 pages of whatever he has written and blab in front of them. And in the following week, he's going contrary to what he said. So he has not demonstrated what he is preaching, and that is against even Christendom.
Okay, Tosin, thank you. Let's hear from the village boy. Baba, were you expecting him to visit the villa again?
I think let us put certain things in perspective. Oba Nkpeni Aije. I hope you understand that.
Yes.
When the king sent for you, you are obliged to go. And if you want to go with Blika, even when they sent for Elijah on the month, the 50 and his captain, and he consumed the first, the second, the third, and the last one said, okay, Baba, you know, Stacy, I can't say no. I beg. Let my life and my 50 be precious to you. And God said, go with them. Nothing will happen to you. So it's not out of place for a prophet to say, okay, I don't want to see the king. I don't want to see a ruler, especially when he has given the warning. I believe we are familiar with that Elijah story. And if God says, okay, go, I want you to go. I believe there are two ways to visit the president. The first way is to make a request, which the president can or may or may not grant. But there's another so where the president can specifically send for you. So let us assume what he said that okay, he will not by himself make a request to visit the president. And when the president heard that, what is it? With the fight, we are friends. Okay, tell him I want to see him. I don't think at that level, if the president sent for you, except you are an extreme activist and opposition, you will say no. Because
should we excuse FFK too?
Wait. That are different case. There are different scenario. So in that case, when is at that moment, it's not the person, it's the office. When the office, okay, the office of president require you a meeting, schedule a meeting for you to meet the president of so hour. Except in an extreme extraneous case, you are obliged to honor it. Because at that moment, you are not honoring the person, you are honoring the office. It's the same thing with the king. That's why I use the proverb king. When the king of your town, even if you don't agree with him, send for you in the palace, sitting down with his chiefs, okay, go and call this person. You can't say, well, if you say, I'm not coming, it means you are disregarding the throne for the town. So on that basis, irrespective of what he has said in his church that was not going to go, which means he was not going to make any request by himself to see the president. So they can excuse him on that. All other things that Tosin was talking about, I can see there are a lot of based on his personal experiences, especially when he visited his church. I think there's a bit of bias there, but he's also entitled to that kind of opinion. Um, Now Bakare is wearing two caps. He's wearing the cap of a pastor and the cap of a politician. A politician all over the world is not, you trust politicians at your own risk. That is the fact. We may not like it, but that's the fact. And it's not peculiar to Nigeria. Hmm? A politician, because you agree something in the morning, you hold another meeting at night, the whole thing is twisted. You hold another one late in the morning, the following day, another story has come. Even for themselves, the way they manage it, sometimes it beats my imagination. So, if there is one thing all over the world, politicians are highly consistent. They are not configured to be consistent. So, yes, Mr. Okay, but if you preach this on the pulpit, that means at that moment he was making that statement, he was making it as a pastor and not as a politician. And of course, internet doesn't forget. So we expect that, okay, if you say you are not going to do this, well, would it would have been childish of him to say, okay, I said the other time that I was not going to visit the president again. The president sent for me. So because of that, I'm taking it, this is beyond himself because of the office, and we are, as a citizen of the country, I'm expected to respect the office. Or what do you think? Do you think I should not go? So you don't expect him to do that. It's not going to likely going to do that. But they would have spoken to some inner cycle members. Okay, this is what the president asked me to come. Because the truth is I could be arrested, though it's not an offense to say, President, sorry, I don't want to come. But again, coming to see the president also, depending on the content of the letter, okay, it's true, we are sorry, most of the things you have written to us, we have not responded. I have those papers on my desk now. I have studied them very well. Do you mind coming, let us have a talk about it, about the papers you have, about the recommendation you have made to me? So that's an opportunity to speak to his letters. Should he reject that opportunity? Is it about himself, about the country? So we have to put all this in. After, he's not fighting for himself, he's not fighting for his pocket. And again, I'm not sure it's appropriate to say that he has eaten. There is no public record that against him that Bakari has been taking money. In fact, there are video where he has shown that he declined money. That is the record that I have, that I've have access to. I have no record, and they challenge any government who say give him money, that should come out and say, and no one has said they gave him money. So in this case, it's not about him eating or not eating. When you talk of eating, you talk of FFK. Even Obasanjo confirmed that in his book. So they are not the same thing. So I think it is unfair, very unfair, to put the two of them in the same category. It's not fair. So,
okay.
So why did he go? I don't know.
Is it in the public domain that he was invited?
No,
It was not in the public domain either that he requested for it. I'm just telling you that usually these are the two ways in which you can see the president: requesting to see the president, or the president asking you to come and see him. And that is the way it is everywhere.
I agree with the point that you can't say no when the president calls. Okay, unless for me now, even if President Buhari invite me to come, unless if I'm thinking that they might just hand me over to DSS.
And that was this afraid is catching you.
But if I'm sure that will not happen, I probably will consider going. So I perfectly understand that. But I'm just saying that when adults, even the day in this age and time of the social media and internet, when you are, whether a politician or no politician, I think people should be mindful of the things they say. That I'm not going to, maybe something happened, and I'm saying I'm not going, never going to talk to Tosin again, and you are recording it, or you are saying it to the camera, and then in 2 weeks' time you are beginning to see you talking. Anyway,
Well,
and especially
I
for as
decided
an
the
elder
person.
statesman
I
and a
What
want
he
to
pastor.
did is totally wrong. If you watch carefully the video of his last outburst, he was almost cursing even the government of even this present day administration. So now turning back to go in a meeting with it, he say if well it is well, but what he did is wrong. He should have just kept quiet, not the several outbursts upon outbursts, reading out, write up upon write up. He can just hold his peace. What he had just portrayed is because they didn't allow him to see the president, he just felt, okay, now you want to be claiming you that we are paddy before. Now everybody is stopping me from seeing you. That is what is portraying his letters.
And
I
eventually
don't
Baba got and
I
Baba,
don't think
Baba
I
got
agree.
invited.
I don't think I will agree with you on that. I don't think I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it's okay
Ah,
that there's a disagreement.
divergent.
Right.
So
Divergent, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should quickly talk about this. It's gonna be 1 hour in the 4 minutes, so we can close. Do you think that this issue of zoning the presidency should be in the constitution?
You
Especially,
see,
even though I do not agree, but I want to say, especially when the North is beginning to, claim to or assume, or they are painting the picture that they have more population than the South.
the thing is this. In our situation is a bit abnormal. And I want us to look this thing at it dispassionately. Sony is not the best thing for us. Sony may not likely bring the most competent person. But Sony also is about fairness. It's about fairness that a particular group of people, a particular section is not neglected. But even this Sony is like we just superimpose it. Just okay, we slide the Sony is we have 6 zones in Nigeria. But each time we talk about Sony, we talk about North South. Which in itself, what is the definition of Sony? If you have 6 zones, so why is Sony become, or you used to have 3 of later which became 4 regions? Is it on the basis of the region, or is it the basis of where the river just divides us, River Niger and Benue? So we have to define Sony. If Sony is based on geopolitical zone, currently we have 6 of them in Nigeria. So if we say, okay, we have 3 zones in the north, 3 zones in the south, which means even when there is going to be Sony, it's like if it is one zone in the north, it comes to another zone in the south, it goes to another zone in the north, it comes to another zone in the south. If we are talking really about Sony. But now, Yaradua and Buhari are from the same state. Is that Sony? So does Katsina State alone represent the North? So Obasanjo is from Ogun State. Okay, Southwest. Jonathan is from South. Now, Southwest, Northwest, South has had. What happened to Northeast? What happened to North Central? What happened to Northeast? I mean Southeast. If you're talking of zone. So the moment you put that in the constitution, the danger there is you might be compromising competence. You may be compromising getting the right people to the office of the president. Then if you don't put it in the constitution again, unfortunately, like there are people that may be perpetually marginalized because even this so-called of not advantage, which we know is exaggerated, but we don't have the courage to address it yet. We don't know how many we are. So, and because we cannot, there is no evidence to show that the North is more populated than the South. And nobody wants to take that bull by the horn. Nobody wants to do effective census. So there are a lot of issues there, foundational issues. If you want to, whether we want, before we talk about soon and soon or not soon, the first thing is like, let us have the courage to have true census. Let us know how many people are living in Kano State. Let us know how many people are living in River State. Let us know how many people are living in Lagos State. So that is what I would say. Sony has its beauty, it also has its ugly side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tosin, like when just so you don't, even though I don't want to control what you say, but I would love if you can capture the last point that Village Boy has made about why is it so difficult. It's only we are under 2 million. I mean 2 million. I mean 200 million people, right? If I should said it's a lie that it is inflated. And
Yeah.
it is possible for you to want to believe a little bit of it, because I remember in those days when they want to come and do census, people, they will count people that are not even resident, people who have traveled to Lagos, Ibadan, they will still remember their name, they will still
The last
include their
census
name in the village.
the last census become even competition between villages. We want to have more population than the next village. I was an enumerator at that time.
Yeah, in fact, I remember the Shora in the meeting that I was saying that during the last census, people in his village will send to him. They will send a message to him that hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you now. It
Okay,
rang a bit the other time.
okay. All right. So Shora was saying that people in his village will send a message to him that they need to settle the enumerators, the national census staffs, so that they can increase or inflate the number a little bit. and and that's why, and since look at the number of national leaders that we have seen from the north over the years, and so it may be possible. I'm not saying this is empirical, but I'm saying that it may be possible. In fact, people like me strongly believe that it is not possible that you have a place or any city in the north that is as populated as what you have in Lagos. It's not possible because what viable businesses are coming out of that place, that people who are ambitious would rather remain there. I don't think so. Anyway, Tosin, what's your view? Why is it so difficult for us? You can make a village, each of the village and town. Sorry that I'm yielding to you and I'm still talking. You can create a free a Microsoft Excel sheet and put the names and phone number of people there. It is that simple these days. Anyway, talk please.
We don't have effective government. That is why it is difficult even to know the number of our number. If a sane person or a competent person will become president in Nigeria anytime, the first thing to do is to get everybody identified. Every Nigerian should be identified. Till now, the only means immigration even identify people in Nigeria is the shape of our head. They will just look at you and our face. They just look your face like this. Calm down, please. Then they will start asking you, are a foreigner and all that. So the first thing to do is to identify everybody. Everyone should have an ID as a Nigerian. Everybody should be registered on a portal. With even that will curb corruption, that will curb insecurity, that will make people to behave well in society, and it will help our security also from strangers coming into the country to perpetrate evil. But because we have people in power that they don't even know, their mind is not working with these days we have, their mind is working years back. So they are talking about Gazelle and and cattle route of 1950 in 2021. Now, talking about zoning, like the village brother said, it has a good part of it and also the bad side of it. What we have now, people are making noise about zoning. It should be this partner, it should be this the other zone now. Really, it should not count. What we should be looking for is competency. But at the same time, we cannot deny the fact that two-party controls Nigeria. And even the ruling party now, that is APC, they did not have it in their constitution or anywhere written down, but they have it as a gentleman agreement that if Buhari will finish 8 years, and after that time it will go to another guy for another 8 years. So political parties, they have this agreement already among themselves. Will this help us? Well, if we said it should be every zone, according to our 8 geopolitical zone, every zone, that even because of this, somebody competent will not come up. Which of them have we had in recent time that is competent? A friend of mine posted on Facebook some days ago, said, what if we have another president in 2023 that is more worse than Buhari? What are we going to do? Then I just felt, can we have somebody that is more worse than this guy? Well, let that time come.
Anything is possible.
So yeah, because from 1998, we have been having people that come up and they are worse than the guy that left. Only Yaradua to an extent people can give kudos to. So zoning will help us. At the same time, it will not help us. Probably it will not bring out competency in the people. But we cannot stop political party if that is the agreement they have had between themselves. We can only hope for the best.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, I have severally have thought about it that even me here, this small me, I can arrange to begin to count people. It's just that they will say it's illegal. We can design something small on a website that is free. I mean, that is what we do around the world. People have the number. They know the number of people that is living in each geographical location. They give this information even to businesses. When in Abu Dhabi, when you want to establish a business, government will tell you that these are once you identify your niche or area of business, they'll tell you these are the number of people. You can get the number of businesses, number of household, and all of those things. But I don't know how it is still so difficult or considered very difficult. People who have over 1 billion people, almost every Indian has what they call a Aadhaar card. This is 1.3 billion people, including children. But here, I don't understand really. I think it's because many of us are surviving without the government. So because people don't need the government, so some people have never have reason to go to their local government, so they don't need ID card. They don't need government issued ID card. So you send your children to private school, you send them to private secondary school, even university now. So probably don't need anything from the government. Anyway, I just wish that we can get over it and overcome. Uh, Please give your final opinions before we close. I was going to ask Village Boy, judging back that you lived in the north in the your early days, because I think this issue of population and all has always been. Do you? Yeah. Okay, Goni.
But I think the Northerners, we need a competent censor and probably people registration. But I think the Northerners, they have more numbers than us. When it gets to that, what I usually think is an average Northerners have two wives or three. Some have more, but Southerners we only have one wife. And even when we have one wife, we have three, maximum four kids. And these guys, they have more wives and more kids. Uh, but I think the population is not according to census; it's according to people that register to vote. People that register to vote. So, not Southerners also should start encouraging themselves to go register, get their PVC to vote. Because INEC we only count how many people come out to vote or how many people has
Even,
their voters card with them to
I
vote.
heard somebody saying even in the last election in Lagos, the people that registered and took their card, less than 25% of them actually voted.
Okay.
So
And the village,
Yeah. The truth is that when you look at them, they have more land. No doubt about that. Geographical spread, fine. But if you are looking, if you want to use as an example, if I move from one village to the other in the southwest, for instance, in less than some are less than 5 minutes drive, right?
yeah.
But there are places you can drive like for 20, 30 minutes, you will not see, you know, anything other than the family, one hot here, one hot there, and around there. So you cannot, land mass, fine, but land mass does not equal population.
Mm-hmm.
So I think let's leave it at that. And you rightly said, how can there's no how Kano can be more populated than Lagos? Doesn't make sense. But on paper it is. Or even more than River State, because River State, because of the oil, people are trooping there. Let's even say, okay, it is true they are more populated. Let us document it. Let us have credible census. If the census now prove that okay, truly, they are more than us, fine, we accept it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we keep on talking, keep on sharing our opinion. Um, hope people listen to us. Hope we make sense. Uh, hopefully one day things will get better. We can only
All
hope.
right. Yeah, we hope, and we keep talking, we keep discussing. Just in case you are just joining us or you are seeing this video later, this is Opinion Sharers, where we discuss on weekends about issues happening in Nigeria. And today it's an informal session where we have heard our views on various topical issues relating to politics, population, Nigeria, So we'll be here again next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for checking out. Please do share. And if you're just joining us, you might want to take it, from the beginning. And thank you. And if you think you have something you want to say, you want to join us as a guest, please do reach out to us. You will see our email address is on the page, on Opinion Sharers page, and you can also send a direct message. We'll receive it. Thank you very much. Till we see you again next week, I remain Furthermore, Abiodun Paul. Thank you. Bye bye. All right.
Right.